sometimes whenever I get stuck creatively or I get stuck in a rut of having a lot to do and not a lot of motivation, I think about all the people in the world who need what I'm working on. Maybe it's 5 people. For some of you, it could be hundreds or thousands or hundreds of thousands. The number is really irrelevant. But what I think through is who needs this? And that led me to the thought of, the world is waiting on you to do whatever it is you're supposed to do. I can't tell you what that is. I don't even know what that is. For me, it changes weekly or monthly, what I'm supposed to do, what good I'm supposed to put into the world, but the world's waiting on you. And so a lot of people talk through, well, should you start a podcast? Should you start a YouTube channel? Should you start a business? Should you start, a show of your own? Should you start a blog? Should you start a group that meets in person? I can't answer that. There's all the things that you could do, but the real question is, do you have something to say? Do you have something to say? Do you have something to bring? Because starting something is not about taking. Starting something is about bringing and giving. And so if I have something to give, if I have something to bring, then I probably should start. I don't know what that is. But a lot of people talk through, should I start this or should I do that? And I don't think that's a bad place to start. But I would rather bring it back a little bit and say, well, what do I have to give? What have I learned? What have I experienced? What do I have to offer? Because if you don't start with that question, for me, it doesn't really matter what you do if you don't start with that question. And so one time I heard Casey Neistat talking, one of the most popular YouTubers in the world. He said his favorite YouTube channel was someone who took MLB games, baseball games, and dubbed over different voices over the coaches and umpires and players, and he just loved it to death. He laughed. Every single video that person posted was a dubbed over voice of something funny that an MLB player could be saying. Obviously it wasn't real. But it just struck me. I was like, Casey Neistat's favorite YouTube channel is this. And when they asked him why, he said, because this person just found what they love to do and they did it. It's so specific, it's so niche, it's in one little topic. But the people who subscribe to that channel, the people who follow, really love it. If I was starting over today, I would not even worry about who I'm trying to reach or who I'm for. I would almost think, who am I not for? I was so afraid to push people away from what I was doing that I really wasn't anything myself. I was so afraid to exclude certain groups of people if they didn't like what I said that I actually had no identity myself. And so when you're original, when you're yourself, when you bring something to the table, when you say, hey, I have something to say, and it may not be the only right thing in the world, but it's because of my experience, it's because of my upbringing, it's because of my struggles and my victories, that's when you step in and say, hey, this isn't for everybody, but here's the key, it's for somebody. It sounds cheesy, but when you find that it's for somebody, you can actually step in and make a difference and grow an audience. Tim Ferris says you really only need 1,000 true fans to make a living off whatever you're doing. You need 1,000 people in that Facebook group. You need 1,000 people purchasing and following and loving what you're doing. Like I said, I can't tell you what to do. I can only ask you, do you have something to say? If the answer is yes, start the podcast. If the answer is yes, start the YouTube channel. Start the moms group. Start the blog post. Start the business. If the answer is yes, I have something to say, I have something to bring, yes, I'll do it. Step into it. Here's the little warning. The moment you step, there's going to be opposition. The moment you step, there's going to be doubts, there's going to be struggles and disappointment. But keep stepping, keep going, keep walking. Find that one person. One thing that really helps me a lot is I have one guy that every time I post something, he'll send me a text and say, man, I really needed that. I really needed that encouragement. He's the president of a bank. He's an entrepreneur. He's an extremely successful individual. And I'm always just surprised, oh my gosh, this person wants to listen to what college dropout, creative Jordan has to say. Find that one person. If you're starting, find that one person that truly connects with what you're doing and realize if that one person connects, if that one person needs it, if it makes that one person's life better, then there's a lot of other people just like them out there. And it's only a matter of time before you find them. Don't wait another day. Don't do tomorrow what you can do today. Start today. Thanks so much for watching. Leave your thoughts or questions in the comment section below and I'll reply to each one of them. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're interested in more videos on faith, creativity, and entrepreneurship.